Hello, everyone, and welcome to Global Scholar Spotlight, a series powered by the International Study Council to showcase real stories of students shaping their future through international education. We are here to share another inspiring success story for students who dream of studying abroad on a fully funded scholarship. Today, we have with us Yonathan,
Hi.
an Erasmus Mundus scholar pursuing Masters in Public Health and Disaster, a program jointly offered by top European universities. What makes Yonathan's story truly special is that he comes from a law background, yet he secured a fully funded scholarship in a health-related field. His journey proves that with the right motivation, clarity, and preparation, your background doesn't have to limit your opportunities. Yonathan, thank you so much for joining us today. We are really excited to hear about your experience and insight for future experience. How are you? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you once again for joining us. So I would not take much time. I would start right off asking you this question. Could you please tell us a little bit about your academic and professional background in law and what inspired you to explore public health in disaster management?
Yes, of course. Well, I graduated from law school back in 2019. Right away, when I graduated, I decided to found my own NGO to create impact in my country, in my hometown. So I decided to start from scratch. Of course, it took me like a long time to settle into the law field in Guatemala, but I also wanted to be successful in the academic field. So I tried to pursue many other opportunities abroad, applying to high prestigious institutions in the law field in the United States as well as the UK. And I applied to so many places, and I finally got an internship through Community Solutions Program, which is kind of an exchange program to go to study for like 4 months into the US. So I settled into the US back in 2022, where I had some opportunities working in the George Mason University, specifically in the peace building school. I remember it was Jimmy and Rosalind Carter School for Peace and Conflict Resolution. After that, I connected with the students from the undergrad students, but also I met some PhD students and master students. So it was a nice opportunity for me to explore, the research, because at that time I didn't have any idea about how to do research, but I had the intention to learn. So I think have the opportunity to connect with people and expand the network. It was something that helped me through exploring this public health and disaster management. Actually, I applied because I had a friend, professional as well, that insisted that my profile and my career, my experience was matching with the requirements of the public health and disaster management. Of course, I didn't apply because at that time I didn't have enough confidence to apply. So back in 2022, I didn't apply. 2023, I decided to apply to this specific public health and disaster management, among other programs in law. It was quite interesting because I didn't put any effort in this application. I tried to adjust my CV, my applications to make it into the law field. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I only got like a 50% discount in the tuition in institutions in the US. And I also was invited because I remember I applied to Chevening, and I was invited for the interview in 2023, and I was not selected. But when it came to Erasmus Mundus, I didn't have the confidence enough to believe in me. But I decided because, I had this kind of network that they became allies in my life, and I tried to apply. Of course, I did some previous internships, non-paid internships to, secure a place. I tried to do some kind of research, and I also, to prepare for this master, I tried to join a conference in 2023, I remember, related to public health and disaster management. So I tried to adjust my profile, the application in terms of securing a place, which for me was important, but I didn't have the confidence. So I think that's a journey. It's been a journey.
Wow, that is really interesting. So coming again to your law background, how did you connect your previous studies and experiences to the field of public health during your application?
Well, I try to adjust my application, my profile experiences, because, in my country, I knew that we live in Guatemala, we live in a very prone to disasters country, where it is very normal to face disaster. Even a small, a soft rain could be a potential disaster in my country. So I think it was nice if I joined the public health and disaster management as an activator. I say this taking a proactive role in terms of trying to be the expert in the field, to get knowledge back home, to minimizing and trying to be a key in terms of the law field, to bring decisions into how we can create more sustainable regulations in the law field. So that's why, that's how I did it. Yeah.
All right. So, now I would like to ask you a question about the application process, because there are many students, because currently, as you know, this is the time for Erasmus Mundus application. So there are many students who are reaching us. They have many confusions about the application process. So can you walk us through your application journey from researching the programs to preparing your statement of purpose and securing reference? How was it? How was your preparation journey of the application process to Erasmus Mundus? Could you please just recall a bit for our students?
Yeah, of course. I think after applying to so many other universities and institutions, other scholarships, makes you think makes you expert, makes you to master the applications. Some of the procedures request you to have an updated CV. Other applications requires you for 2 or 3 recommendation letters. So I think enjoy the process, don't panic, try to have the confidence in you, and just enjoy the process. The application process for me was not easy, but it was something that I found it easy at the end, because I had all the pieces that I needed to gather and to complete to get the final application that I got. I remember that read what are the requirements, read your CV twice or 3 times, ask also when you have your complete application, ask for a colleague or a mentor to review your application, which is very important. In my case, I remember that I had at least 2 mentors that were helping me reviewing if the purpose of statement was clear enough to sell my profile, because we are competing. This is a very competitive setting, and you have to know your strengths, but also your weaknesses. So I think like enjoy it. Sometimes you have all the information there. It's just to collect it in a way that you just put order, you organize the information, and that's make it simple as well.
Oh, thank you so much, Jonathan. I think you really mentioned about some very crucial steps that students sometimes they forget. I think having some mentors and reviewing their SOPs, this is really one of the crucial steps that they should follow during the application process. Yeah. And what were the biggest challenges, if there is any, that you have faced during the application process? Do you remember, is there any, because you are coming from the non-health background, so, I mean, do you have any experience that you were facing any challenge during your application process or anything?
Yes, of course, that was something that I was concerned about. Of course, I knew that I come from the law field and applying to something that is more for medical doctors, like, it was a big concern. But, this is all about confidence. I mean, be unique, be you. You know that you have worked so hard to achieve whatever you want. So I try to know my limits. My limitation was I come from law field, from the law sciences. I cannot do nothing. I cannot do something, or I cannot bring something to the public health and disaster management. But I realized that, of course, the law experience that I have and the law knowledge I have, it's key for this multidisciplinary field. That means that, coming from taking this kind of approach makes you a great candidate. So, yeah.
This is very much true that public health is a multidisciplinary team. It's not, many students, they think that public health is only for the doctors and nurses or maybe like medical related fields, but which is not. Public health is a very much multidisciplinary field where they welcome students from social science, medical, like nursing and psychology, molecular biology. Even I saw students studying public health from political science. And now we have experienced like students from law background like you, they're also studying public health, which is really, really good. And many students, they're curious about the selection stage. So did you go through any interview or any specific evaluation after your application? And if you could share your experience, how was the evaluative criteria and the selection process for Erasmus Mundus scholarship?
Of course, I was really anxious, at the same time excited to know, okay, I got an email, I remember, saying that I was selected, and I was moved my application was moved to the interview phase. So I think that you have to prepare yourself, just enjoy the interview. If you made it to the second phase, in this case was the interview phase, I think like all the components in your application made it a great application for the selection committee to like you. Now you are in this bucket, like now your application is in this other bucket, which is the interview phase. So I think that you have to be prepared, try to ask the typical questions, like the most common, like why you apply to this master's program, who are you, what makes you the great candidate, the perfect candidate to get it, So I think like the interview for me was a bit I felt all the pressure on me because I researched about the professors who is in charge of the program of the Erasmus, in this case the public and disaster management, and I realized that so many professors, lecturers comes to interview you, and in my case, the director of the Public Health and Disaster Management Program was the person in charge of the interview. So I try to do my best and always smile, always be thankful, and enjoy the interview. Yeah.
Well, yes, I think I also remember about my interview process. I was working in the field that was a very hot environment, and I was not totally, at that time I was in Sudan. I was working with one of the humanitarian organization, Doctors Without Border. But the environment that I was in was not up to the mark for like having an interview because internet connection was also very much poor. But I'm really happy recalling that memories that I did it, and now I'm here with you. I think that's a very, very much piece of advice that you have said, that be confident, be thankful, always smiling. I mean, I know the pressure is on you, but you have to show that, no, you are very much confident. Everything is okay with you. Yeah, that's very good. And since you have started the program, how are you adjusting the studying of a health-related discipline? And how are you feeling now? Is there any skills from your law background that helped you succeed?
Yeah, before coming, I knew it was not going to be easy, but always try to have a mindset, open mindset, like, you have to adapt. Even, I have to adapt into a different culture, like the Spaniard culture is so different from the Guatemalan culture, even the food. So I think like having this kind of mindset, you have to go abroad to pursue your studies and then just like adapt because it's something that you have to do. In my case, I have to adapt to new research techniques using different referencing styles, citation styles. I have to adapt, or coming from the social sciences is different how we do research, and also the techniques that we also use and implement to study are very different from the public health area. I think like that's a key. I am excited right now. I'm just excited and enjoying the moment. Is what I can tell about the gaps between the social sciences and the public health. But yeah.
And talking about the Erasmus Mundus program itself, as you know that this program is a very unique, that you have to travel, you have to study in different universities across Europe. So far, I know that our program is also, you will have to travel to different universities. So how is your experience been studying across different universities and culture as part of the Erasmus Mundus program? What do you think about it?
Yeah, well, so far I am in the University of Oviedo for the first semester, which is almost ending, but next year we will be moving to Sweden to continue the second semester in Sweden. So I think it's amazing, having the opportunity to visit another country, but also study from different environment, knowing like other professors, lecturers that are coming to teach us. I think it's meaningful. It will enrich our learning knowledge and all what we have gained so far. So I think like it's a unique way to for the students to know other cultures as well, other languages, and expand our professional network, which is really amazing.
Yes, definitely. Like, and I would also mention about the exciting food that you will be tasting throughout the program from different countries.
Of course.
Yeah. All right. So how do you plan to combine your law and public health expertise in your future career? Like what kind of impact do you hope to make in the future?
Well, so far I have taught in this master in this semester that as a decision making in some important institutions, ministries of the state, we have the capacity to enhance the regulations, enhance the law, the existing law, and if there is no law existing, we have the capability, and this public health and disaster management program enables you and gives you the skills that you need in order to either if you are going to stay in the research or in the academia, but also if you want to practice in the law, in the field, in the emergency settings is important. So I think like for me, coming from law background, I think like my area of expertise and where I see involved in the next 3 or 5 years is in the decision-making process of my country.
All right, excellent. I wish you all the best in your future career as well. Yes.
Thank
so,
you.
Jonathan, I think we are almost at the end of our discussion today. So, what practical advice would you give to the students from non-health background who are also planning to apply to Erasmus Mundus scholarship in public health and disaster?
Yes, listen to your colleagues. If they are telling you something, is because you already shined. Your light is something that people can now recognize. In my case, I didn't want to listen to my mentors that they were asking me to apply to this public health and disaster management program because coming from law, I was hesitating like, I'm not going to bring something new to the table. But imagine, like, if you panic, if you don't have the confidence enough, your application is not going to succeed. You won't be successful, and we want the opposite. I really want you to be successful in your application. Be confident enough. If you are doubting that if your application is not strong, if it's weak, please ask your colleagues. I think that you have a network, so count on them. Don't wait. Just ask them 5-10 minutes, please review this application. Could you please see the spelling? Because, for me, coming from Guatemala, English is always like a barrier. But I think like study hard. If it's English, the problem, I know that for me, I tried to apply for U.S. universities, but English was not like, but for this specific master, I think like you have to understand like there is always a room for you if you are confident and if you also adapt to the conditions that this master requires to succeed. Yeah.
Very much. So I also echo your statement, what you say, that believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe yourself, I think whatever you're aiming, whatever you are planning to do, I don't think it will work if you don't believe yourself. So the first thing, and I think you mentioned one of the most important points. Sometimes we really underestimate the statement or the comments of our colleagues. Sometimes we see, maybe they're just making fun, or maybe they're just, like telling us something maybe they're not sure of. But sometimes your colleagues, your friends, they can also, like ignite the motivation, the core talents in you that sometimes you miss to see, which happened in your case. You see, you're not so sure of coming to the public health field, but your colleagues, your friends, they were really confident about you. No, you can be a good asset in public health field. And now you're here. Wow, this is really interesting because so many people sometimes they say they do not listen to others, do not listen to your colleagues. But in your case, it really worked, huh?
It really works, yes. And also, if you have done something else, extracurricular activities, every activity count. I remember for me, having a YouTube channel that it doesn't have to be related to academic or whatever. But for me, I just like in the extracurricular activities, I included the volunteer activities that I already did in the past, and also YouTube channel, I added it as part of a plus. And also in the application as a tip, I remember that someone told me like, why you don't put an action picture in your purpose of a statement? And I said like, wow, that's crazy. I'm not going to put a picture of me in an action picture.
Yes, I got it. Yeah.
And I did it. And it worked. Yeah, I did it. I follow this crazy idea and it worked because,
Jonathan, if you don't mind, could you please just elaborate a little bit this? Because I have also never heard of adding a kind of action picture in their SOP. This would be really, really, really interesting point for our students. Because, could you please explain a little bit? How did you do that? Or what was the procedures?
Yeah, of course. Please, in your purpose of a statement or a statement of purpose, select a very strong and crazy title. It always works. Second, have the picture and explain why this picture. And then you move to the essay, because at the end it's a big essay telling your story, telling whatever, the academic expertise that you have had, the experiences, telling you, and that really works.
Wow, that's really good information even for me. I've never thought of adding a picture or action photo in my SOP to explain my story. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, next
sometimes you know why I did it, because sometimes we are so restricted to the words that we have to put into the statement of purpose, but a picture tells million of words. It's telling you a story, what you're doing. So yeah.
You are very much right. Jonathan, thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. I believe that the students, they will learn a lot from your story, and they will gain the confidence that they need to apply this kind of scholarship in their journey as well. And I think your story is really powerful reminder that passion, purpose, and persistence can open unexpected doors, even across disciplines. So to all our viewers and students who are watching, remember that your field of study does not define your future. If you can connect your interests with real-world impact, opportunities like Erasmus Mundus or any other fully funded scholarship are within your reach. Yonathan, if you have any last things to say to our students or to our viewers who are watching this, any last thing that you want to mention?
Yeah, be confident, enjoy the process, and I wish you good luck. That's the all of you.
All right. Thank you so much, Yonathan, once again. On behalf of the International Study Council, I wish Yonathan continued success and hope his experience inspires many of you to take the first step towards your global education team. And thank you once again, Yonathan, for joining us. Have a good day. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.